Mga kaibigan, nagbabalik po ang inyong programa, Aksyon Central Luzon Special Edition. Ito pa rin po si Sunny Lopez. At mga panahon po natin, talagang mga special pong mga guest, no? Sa akin pong kaliwa, si Sheikh Ahmed Daud Saman Al-Sabah, na member po ng ruling family po ng Kuwait, at saka po si Mr. Dennis Wright, na siya po ang is putting together with partners, one of the biggest undertaking dito po sa loob ng Clark Freeport, no? At yan po yung Global Gateways Logistics City. Okay, Mr. Dennis, last time we talked, there are more things that happened after that. Can you please tell the viewers watching us now what are some details of the project?
I'd be pleased to. First, the project had the groundbreaking, I believe it was August 25th.
Yes.
You were the Master of Ceremonies, Sheikh Ahmed,
yes,
the President of Royal, both spoke, but that was August 25th, so coming up on almost 1 year. And a lot of people always wondered, well, when is the project going to start? The project started August 25th, but most of that effort was in the architect and engineering offices of Palafox. We had retained Palafox to do the master plan. And,
one of the best in the country.
Clearly, and one of the best really in the region, and one of the best in the world. But that also is indicative of what we're trying to set, a very high standard for this project, because we want it to not only be the best in the Philippines, but the best in Southeast Asia. To design 177 hectares, remember we're talking about a very large area, larger than Fort Bonifacio, larger than Makati. But in order to design that and not have traffic congestion and not have the problems that you see in other big metropolitan areas, you have to get the design right. Everything is underground utilities, fiber optics. So this is the latest and greatest in design for a logistics business park that sole focus is on complementing the D.S. Dado Macapagal International Airport. So we spent the first probably 6 to 8 months doing most of that design work, which isn't glamorous, but it has to be done. The master plan was approved by Mr. Luciano at CIC, who has been absolutely very, very supportive of his organization. The master plan was approved. We put bulldozers in the field in June.
For clearing operations.
We started clearing the site, started to put in the infrastructure, the layout, the surveys, and everything, where everything's going to go. If you go out on the site now, right across from Yokohama, you'll see construction of our temporary office.
Yes,
that's a temporary, not indicative of what's going to be there, but that'll be the temporary office. It will have gone in 45 days, a very innovative construction methodology to put it in. So the temporary office is going on the site right now, the road work's going in, bulldozers are in the field, the site's being cleared, so a lot of activity. And anybody wants to come out and visit us, stop by the office and we'll give you a personal tour. And
previous to that, you have another office, right, to accept some applications?
We have another office right across from the Oriental Duty Free Bazaar on CM Recto.
Yes.
And that has served as our initial project office. Now we'll be moving actually on site for the construction team, but also for sales and marketing.
Okay. From your end, what is the timetable before locators can come into that area? Because what's the business mix that you expect to put up in the project?
Well, what I like to remind people is the magnitude of this project. It's really huge. 177 hectares, 4.5 million square meters of space, offices, warehousing space. And it's a $2 billion investment over a 7-year build-out, longer, shorter, depending. It's hard to project 7 years out. But $2 billion over 7 years. We actually have in negotiations right now with several locators to start putting facilities on the site. I would say in the next couple months we will probably start laying out some of the very first vertical construction foundations.
So when a locator comes in, everything is ready for him? to do business, start earning money.
It will be. They could, physically, we could put a locator on the site today,
Yes.
6 to 8, 12 months, depending on the type of building and structure they want. We can put people on the site really right away, and we can start with that. Because there are enough of the utilities and infrastructure already on the site that we can feed that until the master plan is, the master plan utilities are in place.
I'd like to ask this question to the Sheikh Ahmad. We've been hit by a world recession, a world crisis. How did this hit Kuwait, and how did this affect your plans for the project here at Clark?
As you know, the recession hit everywhere.
Yes.
It hit Kuwait,
Even Kuwait.
and even Kuwait, affected the private sector in Kuwait. There's many companies are top companies, good companies. There's many companies, small companies, and the small going to emerge among. But with the revenue of oil and continued wealth coming in Kuwait, it's going to rebound. And actually, I have many calls from many of my friends. They want to put a big investment company just for investment in the Far East or South Asia and in Philippines in particular.
So with everything that's happened, it really shows that you have confidence in the Philippines.
Absolutely.
you
It's
continue to
confident.
pour investment.
The investment here is solid. The growth rate is good. The revenues are coming from the workers overseas. Stability. It's a great place to invest.
Mr. Dennis just mentioned that in less than 10 years, probably more than 5 years, you probably will put up about $2 billion US. How many workers do you, because the president, when you talk to the president, I'm sure when she talks to you, she wants jobs for Filipinos in Kuwait. But in this area, how many jobs?
I believe this project will create around 70,000 jobs overall.
70,000 jobs.
more or less.
Right now we have only 55,000 jobs in the whole of Freeport.
Yeah.
So that will probably more than double that.
Really, I have to give credit also for this project for the persistent of Her Excellency Gloria Macapagal. And she's always asking, when are you gonna, she's always supporting. And I hear people saying in the newspapers, and a hard-working president. I've seen that.
Yes.
In meetings, and
in person.
In person, she picks up the phone. She calls the leaders here in the Clark, pushing them. She asks about. She's really on top of these kind of.
She's aware of the details also.
Yes, of course. And I believe this not only happened in Clark, and happened in many other
yes.
investment in Hanchi, in Subic, in many.
Yes.
And in years to come, history will remember Gloria Macapagal for her economy really effort and the things she did for this great country.
Mr. Dennis, what types of jobs will be needed when things are in operation?
The park is composed of 4 areas, but not phases, where the whole park is being done at the same time, which is a little bit different than typical developments. But the largest tract is for light manufacturing, warehousing, and distribution centers. Clearly, fast, agile logistics that needs to be in and around an airport.
Because the vision of the president to make Clark a logistics hub.
That's correct.
Is in line with what you're doing right now.
That's correct. In fact, that was part of the mandate,
Yes.
was that it had to cater to aviation-oriented and related activities.
Yes.
But of course you'd want to do that. You wouldn't want to put a heavy industry at Clark that really ought to be in Subic or Batangas,
Yes.
near a port. So some of that also was common sense, what you'd expect to see around the airport. So the largest single area is directly off the access to the SETEX into the operational logistics part of the park. There obviously is another section, the second largest section, for logistics operations, airline